Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X researcher and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one is entitled, Town in South Africa Experiences Planet X Effects Similar to the Hurricane Michael Event. Now on Sunday, the 21st of October 2018, Alexander Bay, a town in northern South Africa, woke up to a red illuminated atmosphere and dust storm due to high winds. The town is in a very arid region. There's plenty of dust to produce a dust storm whenever there are high winds, and this morning seemed to be particularly windy. However, a red atmosphere had not ever been reported before, and you can see what it looked like there. It was extremely red. Everything looked red. Now, the red color in the atmosphere could not be as a result of the dust, because as we can see in this image, everything near and far looks red. There's no other color. The sky does seem to be a bit, looks almost yellow, probably because it's not as red and the camera saw that as yellow. But the tree leaves, which usually would look green, also look red. And darker objects look darker red, and lighter objects look lighter red. As you can see from the fence, this fence looks red, and parts of the fence which are most likely in some other color or darker, but I'm sure this fence is not red. There's the gate there and it's red. There's a pole and it's red. The trees look red. You can see there, everything looks red. So this is an image in red only. It's not even in red and white. Everything is in different tones of red. Red dust would not produce this effect, as there would be gaps where other colors would come through. So the atmosphere here seems to be illuminated in red light only. And this is where Alexander Bay is, at the very north of South Africa on the west coast. And it's just south of Namibia. Namibia is here. This is a river. It's called the Orange River, but it's named after William V, Prince of Orange, so it has nothing to do with the color orange. And you can see some photographs here of what it looks like there. It's basically desert, but the dust that you see is like beach sand. It's not red. Thus, the red color could not have been produced by the dust storm. The real sun would only illuminate the earth with white light, and we already know that the sun is not shining anymore and has been replaced by a simulation of the sun. And you may look at article 388 entitled "The Sun is No Longer Shining. Sun Simulators Replace the Sun" for more details. However, the sun simulation also illuminates the Earth's atmosphere with white light. It does seem that the local sun simulation failed once again, which it usually does when large amounts of stellar core matter enter the atmosphere, as this is what seems to have happened when they turned into night for 3 hours in northern Russia. And you may look at article 291 entitled "The Sun Disappeared, Day Turns into Nights" for more details. This means that the sun and sky simulation system must have failed and the atmosphere was illuminated by an object which emitted red light only. This therefore suggests that a large red light emitting stellar core closely approached the surface of the Earth in this region on this day. Now, the approach of these objects is usually accompanied by high winds because their gravitational field interacts with the Earth's gravitational field in such a way that gravitational vortices are generated. These gravitational vortices produce high-speed cyclonic air circulation. In other words, these objects are the true source of tornadoes, waterspouts, and hurricanes. And you may look at article 357 entitled "Planet X and Gravitational Vortices, Hurricanes, Tornadoes, and Waterspouts" for more details. In this case, the stellar core generated a weak hurricane type of circulation and drew large amounts of dust into the atmosphere. This is also what happened during Hurricane Florence and Hurricane Michael. I carefully detailed in article 371 how this Hurricane Michael was due to an approaching object from outer space, and showed that there was no evidence of any hurricane approaching the coast over the ocean, but that ever had been reported as being out to sea for several days before was an artificially created storm which failed to develop into anything resembling what a hurricane is believed to be, as the wind speeds over the ocean were never hurricane strength. The high winds only came when the object responsible for the gravitational vortex, which we usually call a hurricane, settled down over the region. So it came from space, not over the ocean. And here's a tornado and two water spouts. And these are the gravitational vortices which are associated with the entrance of these objects into the Earth's atmosphere. It seems to have started in 1643, at least that's when the first tornado seems to have been observed. In addition, blue and pink luminescent clouds were observed over Panama City during and after the Hurricane Michael event, suggesting that stellar core dust entered the atmosphere with the large hurricane producing stellar core, and the energy transfer mechanism led to the appearance of luminescent clouds. The fact that the objects creating these gravitational vortices are becoming more prevalent and the effects are strengthening seems to be due to the sun dying. And you may look at Article 377, which details some of that. And here are the pink clouds that were generated during the Hurricane Michael event. At least in the background, they are pink clouds. In the foreground is this blue and pink cloud. There's some parts of it that are emitting pink light. And this can only be created if the cloud itself is emitting light, in other words, a luminescent cloud, because there's no way to illuminate the cloud in such a way that parts of it emit pink and another part emits blue, and different tones of blue as well. The same thing seems to therefore have occurred at Alexander Bay. At least one stellar core accompanied by a large amount of stellar core dust entered the Earth's atmosphere. The entrance of dust caused the sky simulation to fail. The atmosphere was thus illuminated by the stellar core, which emitted red light, and the wind was created by the associated gravitational vortex, which usually gives rise to a hurricane-type vortex. There have not been any reports of an accompanying tidal event in this case, which occurred both with Hurricane Florence and Hurricane Michael, which these objects seem to produce as well. This may have been because the tidal surge and ocean recession went unnoticed. In this case, because the stellar core intrusion into the Earth's atmosphere was too far from the ocean to cause a tidal surge, or because this particular system of stellar cores did not have a stellar core in it, which is large enough or able to come close enough to the surface to produce the expected tidal wave. According to the authorities, the dust storm was created by a combination of a low-pressure system off the coast of Namibia and strong eastern winds. A low-pressure system is not likely to form in this region, as the waters are very cold due to the Benguela current, which flows northwards along the coast, and is about 200 miles wide. But a storm is the usual justification given as a cover-up for what is really occurring, which amounts to objects from the Planet X system of stellar cores closely approaching the Earth. In conclusion, something similar to what occurred during the Hurricane Michael event gave rise to high winds and a red light only illuminated atmosphere in the region of Alexander Bay in South Africa. The event appears to therefore be due to Planet X system stellar cores closely approaching the surface of the Earth. And those are the references. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.